Any second now. Good afternoon, everyone. It is 4:30. I'd like to welcome you all here. And I'd like to ask first that we begin by observing a moment of silence, standing for that, and then we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now if we could have a roll call, please.
Pete Hamill.
Here.
Ken Snyder.
Here.
Brad Hint. Here. Chantal Ostra. Here. Tom Eggers.
Here.
All right. The next item up is the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
Hamill.
Aye. All right, our next item on the agenda is the public forum. Is there anyone here today that wants to address the council at this time? There are public hearings for some of the other stuff, if you have something later, Shelley, but if it's the Bethel property, now would be your time.
Christian Hartog, 18 7th Avenue, Sheldon.
Pull that mic down just a little bit, Craig, if you would. There you go.
Okay. First thing that I want to talk about is the excavated pile, the mound that has been left after the basements have been dug for 2 of the duplexes. I am hoping that that excavated land, dirt, is not going to be used to increase the elevation of the rest of the property. I don't believe that is in anyone's interest to do, and if that's not what it's going to be used for, then I would recommend that it be taken away. We're fortunate enough that the rains have kept the dirt down for now, but June, July, and August are coming, and I don't intend to have to wash windows time after time after time. So if there's a reason that the dirt is still there, that's fine, but I don't see a reason for it now. They've already backfilled the basements around the outside, so if there's a reason it should be there, it'd be nice to know what that is. The second thing is, if we can talk about the approximately $30,000 that Mr. Postma wants for curbing. I don't think the taxpayers of Sheldon want to pay another $30,000 on top of the $110,000 that they've already paid. I think that's his responsibility. And if he believes that there should be more parking space than 4 vehicles per unit, there's always parking parallel parking across the other side of 7th Street. He doesn't need that diagonal parking that the Bethel Church used to have. And I don't see why taxpayers should pile another $30,000 on top of the 110 already. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Craig. Any other public comments at this time? All right. Then let's move on to the approval of the consent agenda. I'll take a motion for that. So move. Support. Did you? I'll take Ken, but we had 2 there, so Ken. All right, roll call, please.
Hint.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
All right, then let's move on into, one thing, I'm going to back up just a little bit. There was another public comment. I forgot to read this. Marvin Reeson called in today regarding the Bethel property as well. His statement, if he wants a curb there, it is up to him. The deal is done. If he wants a curb, he needs to pay for it. Quit opening the floodgates. What are you going to do with everyone else you make a deal with? All right. Now, let's move on to new business. First item there is the rezoning of the 1721 South Fifth Avenue property, Verdorns, for the Verdorns. I'd like to open the public hearing on that at this time. Anyone wishing to address the council regarding that? See no activity. Motion to close the hearing, please.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call.
Snyder.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Hamel.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Then there's a resolution, the second item under that heading, that we need to approve. Any
Move to
com-
approve the resolution.
Okay. We have support. Support. Any comments you'd like to add? Any comments or questions from the council? Roll call, please.
Hint.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
All right, then we move on to the first reading of the ordinance. And we can choose to approve that and also decide what to do, whether we want to waive or move forward to the second reading. Any comments? Or anyone want to make a
I
motion?
would move to approve it and waive the second and third readings.
Okay. I'm just told our city attorney is recommending that we do that in two different motions.
Okay? I move to approve the resolution, or the ordinance.
Okay? Do we have support for that?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye.
And then, you want to make your second motion regarding the second and third readings?
So move.
That we waive then? Is there support for that?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye.
All right, then let's move on to the upper story project at 324 and 326 9th Street. I'd like to open the public hearing regarding the community development and housing needs grant, and I do have some instructions I have to read.
Second public hearing.
Instructions go with the second. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself
Yeah.
here. All right, good, thank you. So anyway, we'll open the public hearing on that property. Anything you want to say to the council this time? You don't have to, but... Okay. Then I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Ostra. Aye. Hamel.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye. All right, so then, there's a resolution adopting the Community Development and Housing Needs Assessment. We need to have a motion for that. Just a minute here now, bear with me. Yeah, so we would need to approve that first, and then we'll open the second hearing regarding this, after a few announcements from me. So a motion to approve the resolution.
So move.
Support? Anyone? Support. Ken, thank you. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
All right, then we need to open the second public hearing regarding the submission of the CDBG application. And there are some instructions here that I have to read as part of this process. Recent growth and within the community of Sheldon and the region has increased the demand for quality, affordable housing for residents, including rental units for individuals and families who meet low to moderate income designation. In addition, the city has experienced overcrowding of available units due to the lack of affordable units within the area. Regarding the funding, the proposed White House Properties upper story housing project will be funded through a combination of CDBG grant funds and private funds provided by the developer, White House Properties. It is estimated that total project costs will be $808,738. The grant application will be submitted to the Iowa Economic Development Authority no later than June 30, 2024 at midnight. And on behalf of the property owner, White House Properties LLC, the city is requesting $550,000 in CDBG funds for the proposed project. Should the project be awarded, the city will enter, the city will enter into a developer's agreement and a promissory note with the developer and property owner. The project will result in the construction of 5 new upper story rental units, of which 4 will be rented to qualified applicants, individuals and families, who meet the low to moderate income guidelines for the county. Of the 5 units, 1 unit will be a 1-bedroom rental unit, and 4 units will be 2-bedroom units. White House Properties has agreed to rent the required units to low to moderate income individuals or families for a minimum of 3 years as required by the grant funding source. These proposed activities will take place in the building owned by White House Properties, LLC, at 324 and 326 9th Street in Sheldon, Iowa. All 5 units will be upper story rental units. And then I want to announce that the existing space is vacant and unoccupiable currently, as such, the proposed project will not result in the displacement or relocation of any persons or businesses. No persons will be displaced by the proposed project. And finally, White House Properties LLC proposes to convert vacant, unlivable space in the second story of the building they own, located at 324 to 326 9th Street in Sheldon, Iowa, into 5 rental units. The rental units are proposed to have a mix of 2 and 1 bedroom, and 1 bedrooms with 1 or 2 bathrooms, a full kitchen, and laundry facilities. The project will involve electrical, plumbing, and normal construction activities. The developer is also proposing to replace the existing exterior windows on the second story with new windows, and units will also be provided with broadband infrastructure. And these, that should be reflected in the minutes that we have made these announcements. So are there any comments at this time regarding these properties? And I'm assuming no written comments either?
None.
All right, then I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
We have support?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Hint.
Aye.
All right, then the final sub-point under that, of this discussion, is a resolution accepting location and endorsing proposed White House Properties upper story project. Yes.
We do have Charlotte here if she wants to say anything, but you don't have to.
Is there anything you'd like to say, Charlotte? There's no, it's not necessary, but now, if you want to, now would be your time. So, okay, very good. All right, so we have the resolution, we need approval of that. I'll take a motion for that, to that effect.
I'll make motion.
Thank you. Do we have support?
Support.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I
Well-
do have a question in
All right.
regards to the low-income information that you had read, Mayor. Who manages that part of it, as far as whether that complies or not? Is that part of a rental agreement at the time of rental, or is it through HUD? Just so I understand it a little bit. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I will manage that as part of the landlord agreement.
Mhm.
And then I will submit the paperwork from the tenant to the state, and that's done, I think, yearly to comply, so.
I heard you. So, good. I appreciate that. I was just wondering how that would play out for both you, the rent, the entity that owns the rentals and the contracts. Thanks.
Any other questions? If not, we'll have a roll call, please.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
All right.
Ostra. Aye.
All right, moving on then to our next public hearing, and that would be regarding the TIF application for maintainers expansion. Anyone here wishing to address the council at this time? Shelley, welcome. Please state your name for the record.
Yeah, hi, I'm Shelley Morris, President and Maintainer. Thank you for the invite. So, as you're aware, if you've driven by Maintainer over the last few years, we've seen pretty strong growth. We acquired the RV Central property back in 2019, and in that time, since 2019, we've seen that business continue to expand. We've expanded that property to include up to 400 chassis and so on. Part of this proposal that is under review is for expansion of 30,000 square feet additionally to that facility, which literally doubles the size of that plant. In addition to that, we have two other expansion projects in the works. One is which the 11,000 square foot training center that's currently under construction on the north plant. That's not subject to this application. And then a 6,000 square foot chassis upfitting building, which is another one of those necessary things for us to continue to grow. But with that is our commitment to continue to grow in Sheldon, which we appreciate your support very much. We've enjoyed working with the city on these projects, and I think this is number expansion 7 in the last 10 years. So, and I would say that the runway for us continues to grow. We have a really strong backlog of orders. We've not been able to meet the demand as we've tried over the last few years. So part of our plan right now is to look at future factory automation, look at expanding our workforce, and the goal as we sit here today is to add about 60 more people. So that's been a tough grind. Anyone that's hiring people knows that it doesn't come easy. But we've seen about 30 people in the last 6 months, and so we continue to think that's going to be the trend. And with that confidence, we're willing to continue to invest in Sheldon. We are very excited about the expansion. I think it does represent, an opportunity for housing, as you talked about earlier today. Very much goes hand in glove with what we need as well. So other than that, if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them, but we're very excited about this expansion.
Great. Anyone? Not a question, just a comment that it has also been a good experience for us working with you. Getting to know Tanya now, and it's a good experience for her. But as a city, yes, we're glad that we can be partnering together to continue to make things happen over there.
Yeah, and we appreciate it very much. So thanks for your consideration, and again, if you have questions, you're always welcome to come and visit. We're, again, very excited about what we have in the works, and I think you'll be very pleased.
Great. Yes.
Shelley, I just want to say on behalf of the city, and I know it's not with this application, but thank you for the work that you did on the drainage. Looks great.
Yeah, we're not done.
Really
We're, when we acquired the Glens property, we never really had, and we still don't have a template for development of that area. But we know that as we've expanded our campus, we were landlocked. We have the same situation now at the RV Central property in just 3 or 4 short years. So when that became available, it was not a question. But the ditch project very much helps us utilize that space to a higher degree. So.
Very good. I guess just on a personal note, I've known Shelley a long time. We've worked together before in the past. And I remember the day when we did feel landlocked, at Maintainer, that there was really no place to develop, and to see where you guys have taken it. It's really good. We appreciate it.
Well, and again, we've been on a mission to look to grow our capacity. And I was honest with the city that, we've looked outside the state of Iowa. We continue to look for how we can grow our business. The nice thing about what we do is we have a very, very strong customer base, a very loyal customer base, and it's a growing customer base. So what you see today, I think, is still just the beginning of another leg up for us. So again, thanks for your support. You're always welcome to come and visit.
Very good. Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you.
Unless you have another comment or question, I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Ostra. Aye. Hamel.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye. So Sam, I'm going to let you take over at this point, leading this discussion and where we want to go with this, what you would recommend.
Well, there's quite a few attachments, but there's really three that matter the most. We got the first attachment, which is the agreement, and then you've got 18 pages of exhibits. And really what's needed at this point is a resolution to approve. There were some last-minute changes made to the agreement that are fairly standard and mundane, so Micah said we could go ahead and proceed with approving the resolution. The resolution contains some language that allows for city attorney and staff to finish the negotiation, but it's essentially done. So there was some changes Shelley had asked for that we agreed with that are covered in the explanation. And I think we can go ahead and move forward and approve the resolution in the agreement.
Make the motion to approve the resolution.
Does that have to be in two motions?
Support.
The resolution and the agreement, both?
Yeah, I'll amend that
Okay.
to the agreement and the TIF application, or resolution.
And agreement, okay? And you supported it, Tom,
Yeah.
with the amendment?
Support it that way.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Good. Roll call, please.
Ostra. Aye. Kent.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
All right. And then moving on, considering the request from Justin Postman regarding the former Bethel lot. Any comments from you, Sam?
I can introduce the items. So I talked to Justin this afternoon, and he was dealing with an issue that was going to keep him from the meeting today, and Gene Baumgars wasn't able to come either. He was his realtor on the sales. One of the things that Justin said, and I asked him if he could put it in writing, and he didn't have time to send it over, but I'll do my best to restate what he said to me. He said that what he's seeking is $30,000 for curb and gutter. He said on top of that, he's facing $90,000 of infrastructure costs relating to the old infrastructure that he didn't anticipate, including manhole rework, etc., and $30,000 for Beck Engineering fees. So if this additional $30,000 is added to it, it's $150,000 for him of unexpected expenses. So he believes that the 30 is reasonable. He told him it was a policy decision of the council, and I had not made the effort yet of writing up the resolution or the agreement that would accompany this. Wanted to take the temperature of the council first, so this would be subject to a future council vote. And Justin said if it appeared like it was not going to pass, he was hoping that you'd be willing to continue it to give him a chance to be here to present his case in person.
Question, as it stands right now, diagonal parking would be what's planned. That's what we did with the other developer, is that correct? And so if we decide that diagonal parking is not to our advantage safety-wise or whatever, that's kind of our decision, right?
There's two ways to look at it, and Todd, you can help me out with this, but the previous application had rear access.
Right.
The garage, you know, and so this is having 6 garages facing 7th Street versus the other proposal having an alley in the middle of the block. You wanna- Right.
I guess, but I'm still trying to clarify here. The way it stands right now, the diagonal parking could be left. And so the curb and gutter could stay approximately where it is now, correct?
It could be, it isn't recommended to
No,
do.
I understand,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
mean,
just saying,
the
I'm trying to get to the point of who's, is it our benefit to have this changed? Because we're not requiring it, correct?
No, we can't require it, number one, because the current ordinance allows for diagonal parking on that block. The previous project went through the process to get an ordinance change and to get approval from the Board of Adjustment to have diagonal parking on that block. Those decisions, Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, those decisions still stand. Right?
The ordinance stands, the development, it's arguable whether the development part stands because what was presented really didn't include a clear picture of the front parking. So that's where, and this is one of the challenges we face when you're redeveloping old property, you know, and I think that's one of the things Justin's realizing too, that it's different than the work he's doing out in Crossroads where everything's clear and clean and brand new. And so ultimately it's a policy decision for you.
Who recommends not diagonal parking? I mean, who brought that recommendation? You, the city, or what?
I would say me/Sam. Mainly because you're going to have, as Sam mentioned earlier, you're going to have 3 driveways and 6 garages on that block. And then you stick diagonal parking in there. It's not going to look norm for that area. It's going to be, I guess maybe it allows for more parking, but is it really needed? You have duplexes there. You don't have multiple properties there anymore. You just have the 6 duplexes. So I won't have heartache if you allow it to stay there. Just understand that if we don't do anything and he chooses to leave it by ordinance, it can stay there. And if that gives you a heartache later, then you have to deal with it later versus deal with it now.
The trouble I have with it, he knew what the property was when he bought it. He knew it didn't have curb and gutter in it. Now he wants to change it. He knew there was a church there that they buried. They maybe didn't dig all the foundation out of it. So that is the developer's responsibility. He knew what the plate looked like when he started. I don't see it being the city's responsibility to put the curb in. That's on the developer. And I fielded probably about 3 complaints this afternoon about this, that they feel it's not the city's responsibility. He knew what he was getting into when he started. And he should have had a plan that addressed it
Well,
to begin with.
doesn't the plan, the way it stands, it's diagonal parking, right?
That would be his choice.
As far as the ordinance is concerned, it meets ordinance per what the city has prescribed for it. He's not going to want it, nor are the people who probably want to buy those duplexes are gonna want diagonal parking out there. And I think at that point, I agree that I think this is a situation that should have been addressed right up front at the beginning of this whole thing. And if between him and Beck or whoever his engineer was that laid that all out, if they didn't cover that, then that's unfortunate because it's a true cost. And I agree. I really don't believe this time that the city has a responsibility there. I know that he acquired the land at a price that was very favorable. And if it's a cash flow issue that he's dealing with, maybe there's something we can do in regards to our requirement of when the curb and gutter has to be put in if he tears it out. And maybe we can give him some leeway on that, I don't know. But I'm not in favor of subsidizing that.
I understand where we're coming from there. On the other hand, I don't want to cut off our nose to spite our face. If we think that it's an issue that should be changed, then that's kind of on us. I don't know.
I guess I look at it reverse way, Pete. If I wanted to have diagonal parking out in front of my house, I'd come and ask the city if I could put in diagonal parking. I don't think I'd ask for $30,000 to put it in.
I understand that, but I don't, are we asking for the change?
No, I think he is.
If he's not given the 30,000, is the diagonal parking staying?
I don't know the answer to that. I think it might, based on what he said on a phone call. Is that correct, Sam? Or to the best of your knowledge at this point?
I think it would be good to have him here, answer some of these questions.
I'm just going through his letter again here now. In the second paragraph, he said, "Our intention was to keep additional parking similar to the prior contractor. And there was nothing in the purchase agreement that stated the parking area must be removed and replaced with curb and gutter at our expense."
I asked for it to be removed. I did, because I don't think it's best. Sometimes we do things or try to tell people to do things to stop them from having extra cost in the end, right? I made the suggestion that it should not stay the way it is. That doesn't mean, I'm not an authority. That doesn't mean he has to do it.
I take it you didn't tell him that we'd pay for it?
I did not, no.
Okay.
I was on site with him and his digging contractor, and they were talking about installing the water and sewer. He is correct in his letter that there was additional water and sewer costs that were probably more, not probably, that were more than what a standard development would be. Again, though, to Brad's point, he was well aware of that long before he started. If he wasn't, then I'm sorry, Justin, I like you a lot, but shame on you. You knew this. This was no secret. He had plans in front of him that showed extended water and sewer lines. So, anyways, at that meeting, the parking came up, and I told him that it was my opinion that the parking should come out and that curb and gutter should go in. But I would be willing to discuss. At that time, I had forgotten about the ordinance change, which then Sam brought to my attention at a later date, that there was an ordinance change that actually allowed diagonal parking on that street, and that we most likely couldn't force him without changing an ordinance to put. So that's where we stand, and then we. So are we asking? Yeah, I guess we might not be. Did I? Yes.
It would help if we could have some maps or something. I have a hard time envisioning all this, what it was, what we want it to be. And I don't know how much work that is. If there is already available, if that's already available.
Just imagine, I mean, you can look at an aerial view, or I can make something up for you, but just imagine your own houses. And in between you and your neighbor's house, instead of there being grass and a curb line between the sidewalk and curb. It's got old asphalt in it, and cars, any cars, just come in there and park on a diagonal up to your driveway. That is what will be allowed if there's no ordinance change or he's not changed. He could leave that way if he chose to. This is what I'm trying to.
And I go back to, he knew it was there when he started the project in the beginning. So why is it now our responsibility to pay for it?
But if he knew it was there and he knew that it was allowed based on the, if I may understand this correctly, the ordinance allowed for diagonal parking in the previous developer's proposal. We changed the ordinance to allow for it in their proposal, correct?
Yeah, you gotta remember, it's technically there forever illegally.
It's there right now.
It's there right now, but right now in ordinance, it allows for diagonal parking on the north side of 7th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue. That was changed when the previous contractor got approval through the Board of Adjustment to have off-street parking there. It was forever been paved and utilized as diagonal parking when Bethel Church was there, and if you want to get technical about it, that parking was never legal.
And last.
Okay,
Until the ordinance
Correct.
changed,
Yeah, that wasn't, if I might.
which they weren't parking in them because the church was gone. So-
Okay, my next question would be...
Yes, Sam,
If
go
I
ahead.
might, the ordinance, and the ordinance change wasn't specifically because of this. It was part of the comprehensive ordinance update, and that was the section that we reviewed, and I remember typing that in, because we were just looking at the areas that we had diagonal parking that weren't in the ordinance. So we're making sure the ordinance matched reality. So that's
And it was approved by the Board of Adjustment for the previous developer.
for the previous.
It's still.
My next question, I guess, would be, if he changes to parallel parking like we would prefer, will that incur additional cost over leaving it diagonal?
I honestly don't know how he can leave it diagonal in its current state without it looking like a disaster. Think about it, he's got to cut driveways through all that asphalt that's already there. And then he's got to tie, and I know, Brad, I agree, it may not be our problem. I'm just telling you that if he attempts to leave the asphalt there, in the end, I think it's going to look like crap. I don't know how else to put it. It's going to look poor. Now, is that our problem? Probably not.
I guess I'd like to hear from him why he feels that we have some responsibility in this. So if tabling it is an option or waiting,
It is, I think.
put
that would
it
be a
on
good
the
idea.
agenda for a time when he can be here, I would be in favor of that.
I would agree with that.
Okay. So, then we'll take that as a motion then, that we table it, and of support from Chantel, until our next,
They have to make the motion, Greg. If Tom wants to,
they just said it.
he just said he wants to table it. He didn't say a motion to table it.
Okay, will you state
Yeah,
it
I'm
as
just-
a motion form?
Right.
Clarity.
Right. I make motion that we table it for a time in the future when he's available to address the council.
I will second that motion.
Okay.
Thank you. That way we know what we're dealing.
Oh, that's it.
Any further discussion? And I'm assuming this would be at our next meeting in June, whatever date that is.
Or whenever he's available to address it.
Roll call, please.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Ostra.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
All right, let's move on then to the budget amendment for fiscal year 23-24. I'd like to open the public hearing for that. Any comments from the public here that are here today? Any written comments?
None.
I'll take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers.
Aye.
All right, then let's move on into the consideration of the budget amendment.
Oh, we just did that.
Pardon me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Public hearing, I'm sorry.
If I might.
Yes.
So, I know this is kind of a last-minute thing to bring up, but I feel I should bring it up. So, there's been some discussion previously about taking the 671,000 and change that was in the fiscal year 23-24 budget for Granstra, well, could be for exercising the Granstra options over by Crossroads, but they could be used for other things. But there was 671 was budgeted in this current fiscal year. There was discussion about having another 671 for 24-25, and that was not approved in the budget, but the 671 until recently had been in the 23-24 budget. And so I'd been working on a resolution that was going to, among other things, including the 130,000 annual appropriation for SCDC and some other items, that would transfer that 671 from urban renewal funds to SCDC to be used for the exercise of land options, et cetera, within the urban renewal plan. So anyway, I was finishing up the resolution this morning, was going to get it to Micah for review, and then I discussed it with Angie, and there was an issue that neither of us realized. Where currently, I'll just skip to the end, the 671 we don't believe can be transferred in the current fiscal year, and we have to look to see what the availability is to do it in the next fiscal year. Did I state that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I need to mention that to you. I know it's a surprise, and you and I haven't even had a chance to talk about it, but it just came up today.
So the year we are currently in, it can't be done, is that what you're saying?
No, not from a cash flow
Yeah.
standpoint. So it's listed in one place in the TIF budget, but I think I've explained it enough already, but I don't, is there anything else I should add to explain it better?
I don't think so.
No?
I think that was
Okay. It's listed as part of the reserves, but right now, the cash flow can't handle that kind of transfer
Okay.
at this point in the fiscal year.
Okay. And there is a question about whether it can be done next year?
Well, Angie and I need to talk about whether it could be done when the next round of property tax revenue comes
Okay.
in.
Okay.
But we felt we needed to disclose it
All right.
now, so.
Any other questions regarding that, that Sam just talked about? So we have a resolution, are we ready to move that forward?
The budget amendment, sure.
Yes, the resolution 24 adopting the fiscal year budget amendment. Okay. Consider a motion for that, please.
So move.
Support. Comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Kent.
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Snyder.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Item F is the first reading on the ordinance on water rates for the fiscal year 24-25. Anything you want to address there, Sam?
Todd, do you have anything you want to say?
Just that both the water and sewer rates follow the recommendations of our rate study that we completed a while back. We have that rate study goes out through fiscal year 27-28. So we continue to monitor cash levels, what was proposed in those, and making sure we're staying on track. These are to help us stay on track.
Have there been any public comments, or written public comments, I should say?
No.
Okay. Would you recommend moving this forward to a second reading, or waiving them?
I think traditionally, there's been a second reading for the
Okay.
water and sewer rate
All right.
increases.
Make the motion to approve the first water rate increase.
Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Snyder?
Aye.
Hint?
Aye.
Ostra?
Aye.
Eggers?
Aye.
Hamel?
Aye.
And then based on Sam's recommendation, we need a motion to move forward to the second reading,
So moved.
Support.
which would take place at our first meeting in June, I'm assuming.
Yeah, actually, a motion's not necessary. If you approve first reading, but you don't make a motion to waive second and third, then it automatically goes to second. So you're good.
Okay. All right, take your motions back then.
I rescind my motion.
All right. And then, first reading of the ordinance on sewer rates, similar situation.
Have our cash flow about where we predicted it would be?
Yeah, last time Ange and I sat down and reviewed, we were right in there. There's a couple of things that are off because we moved some projects that are in the CIP up or back, right? But at the end, we're trending as we anticipated. And if you recall, this is part of this is to get us to a point where we can bond a little less and have a little more cash on hand. That's not how we historically had operated, but we had chosen to go towards that path, and that's why you're seeing the recommended increases that you are.
Okay.
But it's working. We're seeing increased cash balances, which is a good thing.
Okay, any other questions? Then we need a motion to approve the first reading.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Ostra? Aye. Hint?
Aye.
Hamel?
Aye.
Eggers?
Aye.
Aye.
Snyder?
All right, moving on to then reports. Sam, anything further from you?
I do not.
Todd?
Just one, and it deals with sump pumps and the wastewater treatment system and our superintendent, Dean Paulson. So first of all, with all the rains, I'm sure you saw the notices that went out, our flows went up substantially. Just to give you an idea how far they went up, prior to all those rains, we were chugging along around 900,000 gallons a day through the wastewater system. We hit a peak of 3.9 million gallons after all those rains. So as you can imagine, when you go from 800,000 to 3.9 million, that puts a little stress on your system and your plant and all parts. So anyways, we have seen a nice reduction since then. We're back down to 2.3, I think it was, or something like that today. We do think that there are people that switch their sump pumps like we asked. We saw a pretty nice reduction, so the wastewater team thanks those that did make the switch and encourages those that haven't got it done yet to please consider doing so.
So when it rains like that, and what goes in the storm sewers, does that end up going out? That does,
Obviously some, yes, but no, we do not have a combined system.
Okay.
Storm sewer and sanitary sewer are two separate systems. There is not supposed to be any interconnects between the two.
Okay.
So that means street drains, that means roof drains, that means sump pumps. None of that should be going into sanitary.
Okay.
Clearly it is. You don't go up that quickly without some assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the maximum for our system?
Well, I can tell you at 4 million with the old plant, we'd have been bypassing, we'd been reporting illegal discharges to the DNR. So
Right.
our new plant says it can handle a flow of 5.3 million.
Okay.
We believe that the new plant helped reduce some of the stress on the system because it took out one of the backlogs that we previously had. But Dean and I also believe that being in a fairly low flow state prior to all these rains really helped us. We are very happy to say that during these rainfall periods, and we're over 6.5 inches above normal at one point for this season. We have not bypassed pumped anywhere in town. So 2018, I don't know, for those of you that remember, it was like playing, I don't know what it was like playing, but you were dodging pumps that we had set in the middle of intersections all over town.
Right.
You were
That's
trying to
what
put pumps everywhere.
less than ideal. And part of the problem back then, Tom, we can't, we made some guesses at what our flows were at that time.
Right.
But since we couldn't get everything through the plant, bypass pumping all over the place, you're making a lot of estimations, which we have to make, that's a requirement of the DNR, but we weren't getting accurate numbers like we were.
Well, to be honest with you, I was surprised that we were able to keep up with it, to be honest with you, because many of the communities around us, surrounding us, were bypassing.
Yeah.
So,
We were ecstatic that we were not one of those communities.
yeah, I mean, yeah, kudos for our planning on that deal, so.
Yeah,
whether-
Dean and I talked about that, during the design of the wastewater plant, we didn't put a lot of extra, what I would call frills into the plant, but we did really try to build capacity for the future and for events like this,
Yeah.
and it paid dividends this last storm.
I think it should be noted that because of our foresight, that we were able to do that, so. I think that's responsible government being shown again, so, thank you.
So,
Any other questions for Todd, or comments from you, Todd?
nope, not for me.
The Second Street project is done a week early, correct? Was done
Yep,
a week-
yep.
It's completed?
It is completed, yep, went fairly well, couple of minor surprises, not uncommon when you're dealing with old infrastructure. So you'll be seeing a pay request coming and a change order that's gonna total, I don't know, $2,500, $3,000, something like that. Sure. Nothing too serious, glad that project's over.
Good. All right, Tanya, anything from you today?
So I just wanted to thank you for helping us work out and move forward with Maintainer's project, and I wanted to take a moment just to thank the council members for their continued support. We're now 2 months in my new role, and to Sam, Greg, Angie, and Todd, thank you for your support as well.
Very good. Angie, anything from you today?
No, thank you.
Council, to my left, anything? To my right?
Yeah, I do need to follow up on my last meeting. I had asked Todd about pothole filling, and I should note that by the time I got home from the council meeting, the potholes that I had concern about were already filled, so now I feel a little bad about bringing it up, but
you're over it,
thanks
huh?
to the city department, so.
The guys did get a chuckle out of it.
So the only comment I want to have at this time is to recognize Sam as our city manager, who was recently credentialed by the International Local Government Management Organization, the IGMA, better known as, ICMA, excuse me. To receive the prestigious ICMA credential, Sam has to have significant experience as a senior management executive in local government, had to earn a degree, preferably in public administration or a related field, and demonstrated a commitment to high standards of integrity and to lifelong learning and professional development. And Sam, I am happy to say we see that in you. We are grateful for your extra time put in to make this happen and the way that you serve the city. Appreciate your support. All right, very good. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hinn.
Aye.
Ostrov.